It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, it is spring and everything is in full bloom, but nothing puts a damp on things than an allergy, isn't it? And this morning we have Andrea du Plessis, our vital expert, to give us some tips on how you can go about relieving those seasonal allergies. And some of us are very fortunate, Andrea. We don't suffer from these things, but there are those that do suffer from allergies. And what exactly are seasonal allergies? How do you define them?
Well, this time of the year, it's the peak time for seasonal allergies, notably hay fever.
Okay.
So that would be characterized by those symptoms of sneezing, itchy nose, itchy eyes, itchy face, watery eyes, runny nose. And for some people, it's a mild irritation, but for other people, it could be a real health problem.
Yeah.
That can complicate into sinus infection, so yes.
And it's all part of the body, I guess. I mean, sometimes it's hereditary because it kind of runs in your family that you lack a certain thing in your DNA, I guess. It happens to you, right?
Sometimes there can be a genetic tendency, but in principle, if you look at an individual like myself, I don't normally suffer with hay fever allergies, and somebody that does, the person who suffers with those symptoms, their immune system is hypersensitive to environmental factors. And this time of the year, the biggest factor is pollen. So that's an irritant to the nasal passages and to the eyes.
Yeah, and could it also be caused by, let's say, dust that's in the air now?
Yes, most definitely. Dust, also with wind picking up this time of the year.
Yes.
So if you look at pollen, it's small little molecules from the plants that's carried by the air, and so is dust. And there are lots of other allergens, but those two are probably two of the main ones.
And I've heard of something called allergic rhinitis. What is that?
Well, it's a complicated name for saying that your nasal passages are actually inflamed and irritated.
Okay.
So,
So next time when you sound like this, you say, I've got allergic rhinitis. That's what happens. Okay. All right. So, because especially for students, when you have to study and you're constantly having to worry about blocked passages, it takes away from your concentration. So what can we do in order to try and fight those allergic reactions to the environment?
I thought of this. It's exam time, and it's also the peak season for allergies and hay fever. And the biggest problem is most of the medicines that treat allergies, like your antihistamines, etc., cause drowsiness. Now, you need to study for hours. You need to be focused and concentrate and study for that exam for the next morning. So, number one, you can't be sitting with watery eyes and sneezing and runny nose. Number two, you can't take the medication, and that makes you feel drowsy. So we're trying to look at natural alternatives that won't cause the drowsiness but will still help to bring relief.
Okay, and what are some of those natural remedies?
Well, there are herbs. Number one, with symptomatic relief. So there are herbs called eyebright, for example. There's also a herb called astragalus. Now, what astragalus does is it helps your immune system to calm down and not overreact to these environmental factors. There are ingredients like grape seeds and vitamin B6 and vitamin C that have natural antihistamine effects in your body without causing the drowsiness. So the vital product that I want to mention here is the Vital Allergies. So this one in particular contains a combination of those herbs and nutrients, like the grapeseed extract, the astragalus, eyebright, and various other ingredients. And this product doesn't bring instant symptomatic relief, because what it does is it helps your immune system not to overreact. So you need to give it about 7 to 10 days for the effects to really kick in, but then you can take it throughout the allergy season.
Yes. Would a wise kind of piece of advice then say, if you know that you're going to be suffering from allergies and you are a person who regularly suffers from them, take it before the season starts. Start your, building up your immune system before it actually hits you.
That's exactly what you do, because most people that suffer with hay fever suffer from it annually, and they know exactly what time it will hit. So the wise choice there, if you don't want to suffer with those side effects of the sinus medication making you drowsy, is be prepared, be proactive. They say failing to plan is planning to fail. So get the Vital Allergy Ease and start taking it from the beginning of that season that you expect the symptoms.
Fantastic stuff. Andrea, thank you very, very much. I think a lot of people appreciate that. And I do feel for you out there if you are an allergy sufferer. But there you have it, some wise tips from Andrea. And if you feel like engaging with her some more and have more questions to ask pertaining to the season's environment and how it affects your allergies, go and do so on her Facebook page. It's Andrea du Plessis, Vital Expert.
Make abuse a thing of the past. Nominate an organisation that fights abuse so they can win 35,000 Rand from the Vital Awards.